It's a good-looking raven. Can I make some money tonight if I put some hay on her?
Yeah, if you're looking to win, this is the Raven for sure.
What's the name?
The name? Well, so glad you asked.
I gotta know the name to put a bet on it.
All right, well, listen. His name is Vinegar Tom.
Vinegar Tom.
Oh,
Sounds
Vinegar
like
Tom, yep.
Sounds
he
like
won. He won back in aught-two.
Sounds like he packs quite a peck.
He sure does, if that's a good thing. If
And
it's
you're
bad, he might do that too. Old Vinegar Tom, you never know what he's going to do.
My name's Braven. I'm an adventurer who loves nothing more than seeing poultry pound each other into submission.
Raven? Pleasure to meet you, Raven. Welcome to Ravenmoor. I can tell you're not from around here. Old Vinegar Tom could sniff you from a mile away.
Oh, really? And then he
Yep.
looks. He does like a perception check on the bird. He's like looking at him to see if he's like at his ankles or something.
No, the bird's just like... he reeks of vinegar.
Well,
Gotta put vinegar on those wings. That's the secret. That's how he won in aught-two.
well, it seems like a lovely hobby for you and your son to have. I bet it's a wonderful father-son bonding experience to watch two birds tear each other apart in a blood sport in the middle of town.
I told him I'm gonna make a man out of him. He's not gonna be a 2.5 forever.
Well, I'll
Isn't
tell
that
you
right,
what-
boy? And he smacks him on the back of the head and he careens over and falls. Get up!
What's your son's name?
My son. Oh, that's old Johnny.
Old.
You are running out of names, man.
Cut down to the end of the list.
Yeah,
Old-
it was
old Johnny,
it
you
was
must-
Jonathan back in that town on the way.
And are you old Johnny
Sandpoint.
Senior?
No, I'm Barnacle Clubfoot. And this is old Johnny Clubfoot.
You call your 2.5-year-old old Johnny?
Yep, it was his mother's father's name, old Johnny. It's a family name. But of course he took my last name, Clubfoot. Barnacle Clubfoot and old Johnny Clubfoot. Yep, and this is our Raven Vinegar job.
Well, Barnacle, old John. So
I don't
it's
know
a pleasure
why
meeting the
trope
Clubfoots.
is so funny.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Clubfoots. I can't wait to place some money on your bird.
Club feet. Club feet.
God.
After the fight, if you'd like, I'd like to buy you and your son an alcoholic beverage.
Well, I'll be fine, but you can ask the boy. He's man enough to answer for himself. What do you say there, old Johnny? You want a drink from the nice stranger Vinegar Tom? Comes out on top later. Kid just drools.
And then Braven looks around and says, "Wine wench, here." Calls over the latest, lusty lass who's serving brew around this typical Renaissance fair.
Okay. Meanwhile, Karizora, you eventually stumble over to where Braven is. Looks like he's what are you handing drinks to the child?
To the 2.5-year-old child,
To the
yes.
2.5-year-old
His
child.
father gave consent. That's all that's required in Ravenmoor.
The child at this point is passed out on the ground, and you're left trying to find another plan. As
Yes,
Karizor rolls up to you.
Oh, what a beautiful drunken child.
yeah, I may have overserved him. I'm not used to serving children this young.
Well, they have so little self-control, you know.
What a beautiful drunken child.
That's clear, but he did have a great deal of discipline in raising this fierce fighter, Vinegar Tom. And he points down at the raven on the ground.
Oh, well, that is an impressive specimen.
Vinegar Tom 1 and 02.
Is that the mayor?
Vinegar Tom.
Is that the mayor? I'm joking, of course. I'm joking.
You want to know too. Yeah, the dad's standing nearby. He's like, "Oh, old Johnny, I knew he couldn't hold his liquor. Well, we'll make a man out of him yet. And what is your name there, horrible beast?"
Oh, me? Oh, well, my name is Karizor. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And might I ask, what these other creatures call you?
I don't remember my name either.
I believe your name was Barnacle Clubfoot. And
Barnacle
your son
Clubfoot,
is Old
yes.
John
Oh,
Clubfoot.
Man, this is my son. I wish I could introduce you to him, but he's passed out from the moonshine.
My God.
Barnacle
Kill him.
Clubfoot, and this is my real son, Vinegar Tom. I say to old Johnny every day, you want to grow up to be like Vinegar Tom, a winner, back in 02.
Vinegar Tom. Yes.
I hate to impose, Karazor, but I've put all of my personal hay on the prospects of this bird winning the entire Raven fighting tournament. Could I perhaps borrow some more? Consider it an investment. I'm sure that Vinegar Tom will win the entire tournament.
Oh, of course, I can get you as much hay as you like. Hold on here one moment, please. And he walks back to where they got the hay from before.
The trading post, blacksmith.
Outside the trading post. And he grabs like 4 bales of it and just walks back and says, like, here you are, my entire personal savings.
So we look like high rollers at a baccarat table. Come in.
Right.
We're like foreign
All in.
investors from like Abu Dhabi or like Monaco or Curacao or just like some faraway land. And we're like we show up in like Missouri's casino.
A guy in a black suit comes over. He's like, "Gentlemen, have you had dinner tonight yet? We'd love to. We'd love to give you comp dinner here at the buffet at Bellagio."
I'll have a shrimp cocktail.
So you're putting all your money on Vinegar Tom, and the guy's like, "You're a smart man. He won back in 02. I think he can win again tonight, and if he does, we'll have a seat at the head table with Mayor Krigler. I will be able to put some things in his ear. I got some real good ideas if someone would just talk to me."
Yeah, I'd love to hear those good ideas before you share them with the mayor. What are they?
You want to hear my ideas?
I do.
Well,
I'm also a collector of ideas.
I think first of all, they should raise the legal drinking age. Right now, it is far too low. And as much as I want to make a man out of old Johnny, there's got to be a better way to do it.
But what about your poor alcoholic son? Think about him.
Well, he'll be 3, not in too long. I'm not asking for a huge change. Just raise it up 2.5.
I've seen delirium tremens in a full-grown man. I can't imagine what it would do to a 2.5-year-old. You might as well keep him on the sauce for a little while longer. Just wean him off slowly.
Yeah, he'll be a real mess tomorrow. All right, from there, they move on to the Raven fights. Several nicely carved wooden cages are wheeled into the central competition area where Braven was spending most of his time. As a villager removes the canvas cover, you see 8 ravens within the cages immediately begin cawing aggressively at one another as if enraged. Braven, you spent the most time over near the Raven fights, and you find out that pretty much what you assume Raven fights, similar to rooster fights, have long been a popular pastime for the people of Ravenmoor, and these birds have been raised to be aggressive towards other ravens. But they don't fight to the death usually, but sometimes mistakes happen. So one by one, the villagers come out and pull out their prize bird, show them off to the crowd, and then bring them to the center ring before pairing off for a tournament-style competition. And whoever's in charge of that says what you already know, Braven, and I remember that the winner of the tournament will be afforded an honored place at the feast table this evening with the mayor. The 8 ravens we have competing tonight are Clawfoot, Fool Scott, Greedy Guts, Grizzle, Snap Haunch, Soot, Wormwort, and Vinegar Tom. Looks like we got a lot of Vinegar Tom fans out there tonight. He hasn't won since 02. Maybe tonight will be his night. These are all prime fighting birds, and they're all eager to have at each other. And let the raven fights begin. May the best raven kill or maim the other ravens. And then their owner will sit with the mayor. A raven will have probably died, maybe 2. But what an honor to be able to sit with the mayor. Let the fights begin.
Awful.
And this starts and it goes exactly what you think it would be. They put them in the ring and they start fucking pecking like crazy at each other.
Jeez.
Eventually, one like just becomes incapacitated, or the owner throws in the hay, and is like, "Ah, stop the fight!" And they pull their bird back because they don't want it to die.
It's a battle royale. They're just all.
Yeah, tournament style, single elimination tournament. So Grizzle and Snap-Haunts go in there first. Looks like Grizzle came out the victor. This kind of goes on in the background because not everyone is into the Raven fight, and it's a long tournament. So as that's going on, they're starting to prepare to bring out the feast. The table settings are coming out now, and plates and forks and knives made of wood. Very, very fancy. Fine china is coming out for this. It looks like Fool's Cap just beat Greedy Guts. You can start to smell the fires and whatever meats they're cooking are being roasted in the background, so you know the feast is probably going to come quickly after the Raven fights, if not immediately after. Oh, looks like Clawfoot just beat Soot. And then Vinegar Tom's match is up next. Raven, you obviously have a special interest in this.
Got a lot on the line,
and,
dude.
Vinegar Tom
Got a lot riding on that bird.
murders Wormwort in the first round.
Yeah.
Literally
No.
kills Wormwort. And Wormwort's owner is like, "No, stop the fight!" And Vinegar Tom is just going crazy. Even while it's dead, it's pecking out. It pecks an eyeball out, just like you see the string, bing, pop off, and the crowd's like, "Yeah, yeah!" Throwing hay, or like holding bales of hay. Yeah.
Raven is like in a shadowed corner with a cigarette in his mouth, and he just starts slowly golf clapping.
You can't really see his face until he
Right.
takes a pull, and then it lights up the lower part of his face.
I'd like to put a sawbuck on Vinegar Tom in the fifth. And yeah, this goes on, and eventually it gets to the finals, and it's Vinegar Tom and Grizzle in the finals.
All right.
You see the mayor walks up to your Raven's owner, leans down, and you just hear, "As we discussed, Vinegar Tom goes down in the fifth." Taps him gently, and then walks away. You're like, "Son of a bitch!"
It's like Digstown with ravens.
I've got 4 bales of hay on this bird. There's no way it's going down.
Grant, you seem to have the most invested in Vinegar Tom's fortune. Why don't you roll me a d20 to see if Vinegar Tom gets the initiative here?
Couldn't
to,
have the best.
yes.
That's the best one.
Come
against
on.
Grizzle.
Oh, it's a 3.
3, and I rolled a 4, so Grizzle acts first, and Grizzle goes after Vinegar Tom and gets him right under the wing. And Vinegar Tom kind of like stumbles back. He's shocked. He was not expecting Grizzle to come out so hot. He looks at him like, "What? That's not the Grizzle I know."
Grizzle's
and
been
now
juicing.
Yeah.
Roll a d20 to see if Vinegar Tom can snap back at Grizzle.
He was saving something in all those other fights. He never showed this move.
That is an 18 on the die.
All right, so he shakes it out, and he just like wings out dive bombs onto Grizzle, hits Grizzle, knocks Grizzle to the ground. But now he's in a vulnerable position. Wings are wide open. Grizzle snaps up. Natty 18 hits Vinegar Tom. Vinegar Tom has taken 2 wounds. Blood is coming out of the sides.
No.
You see Vinegar Tom's owner, Barnacle Clubfoot. He's like holding the hay, ready to throw it in. He doesn't want Vinegar Tom to die. He knows Vinegar Tom can only take so much.
Raven grabs his wrist. Not yet. Not yet.
All right, roll for Vinegar Tom. See if he hits Grizzle.
He's full of piss and covered in vinegar. Come on. 16. 16.
Yes.
16. He hits Grizzle. That's 2 hits. 2 to 2. But now Grizzle smells blood and a lot of vinegar. He goes in for what could perhaps be a kill shot
No.
and hits.
Oh,
He hits. Roll a d20 to see if he kills him. If you roll over a 15, Vinegar Tom is able to stay alive. Under a 15, Vinegar Tom dies.
Oh no!
I'm going to do it in our Roll20 chat just for fun, just so everyone can see it at the same time.
Well, hold
I know
on,
no
hold
one
on.
in the stream will. Oh, you'll pull it up?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
All right, here it
So,
comes.
hold on. You have your dice visible, right? Your 3D dice visible.
Not the 3D. I just have it in the chat.
We'll put it in the 3D dice.
Go to 3D dice,
Enable
bro.
There's
3D
a 7% chance. This
Where do I
works.
do that? I didn't mean to slow down
in
the whole
settings.
freaking.
In
Oh,
settings,
God.
3D. It takes 2
It's
Enable
not
seconds.
worth
3D dice. There it is.
It's
there
not
it is.
worth
Done.
it.
Done.
All right.
Do it.
15 or higher.
Do it.
Do it for
Five.
Vinegar Tom.
Oh no!
Oh,
No.
no.
Grizzle strikes and kills Vinegar Tom.
Oh.
You just see in slow motion Barnacle Clubfoot's like,
No.
and his son is up and his son's got a Corona and he just drops his Corona. And the crowd in the background is going, all the people that had their money on Grizzle are going nuts, and Vinegar Tom just bleeds out in a puddle of blood and vinegar. And you lose all of your
All of my
pay that
money.
you bet on him. Yes.
All of my legal tender in Ravenmoor.